Havoc here on a very cold, snowy Sunday afternoon. As you can tell, I'm sitting in my nice, warm, comfy robe. My big, fluffy, comfy robe. All comfy and warm because it is cold here in Chicago. But as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm coming to you today to talk to you about digital photography. Now, explanation, I've been doing digital photography for about 8 years. Ever since the digital world started to happen, and I started off with a 2 megapixel Kodak that I actually bought off the floor when I worked at Best Buy several years ago. Anyways, and nowadays, obviously, with like the inclinations of the iPhone, like the iPhone 3G like I have, they have 2 megapixel cameras on them, which is actually how I started. Good cameras, actually, for phones. You know, obviously, you want to take pictures where you're out and about. But I would rather not use a phone camera to take a decent picture if you're out and about, which leads me to bring up the fact of the point and shoot. We start off with the point and shoot. This is a Canon point and shoot camera. A decent point and shoot camera runs you between $200 and $400. Somebody sent me a message on YouTube asking me about what how many megapixels my cameras have, or one of my cameras has, or what's the difference and so on. And I figured I would explain it to whoever wants to see it in a video. This is a Canon. This is a little digital elf guy. It's blue because I like the color blue. But the camera itself is an 8 megapixel camera. You can tell that the screen on the back is pretty decent size. It has an image stabilizer. Now, an image stabilizer is a must. You must, if you're looking at a camera and you're serious about photography, I would definitely recommend getting an image stabilizer on any camera you have, or on a lens that you have. Mainly because the fact is you won't have to worry as much about camera shake. No matter how still you are, you're still going to get some camera shake because you're holding it. And I'm the type of person that hates using flash photography. And if you don't have an image stabilizer on it, you're going to get some blur. Now, flash photography obviously gives you a cleaner picture because the flash cleans up the shot. However, the flash also distorts the shot in a lot of ways because you look like you're a deer in headlights, you look like you're a vampire and you haven't been out for days because the flash whites out your face, so on and so forth. And that's the reason why I can't stand using flash photography unless I have to. If I have to, I use a bounce flash on my SLR with a diffuser, so it spreads the light and makes it look more natural versus using a direct on flash like most cameras have. Get something with an image stabilizer on it. I do recommend something with that, so that when you're point and shooting, you don't have to worry so much about the blur or shake, camera shake. Good camera. Uses an SD card. I actually have a non-opened SD card right here. This is for my SLR camera. It's an 8 gig. I have a 4 gig in this camera, so that when I want to take shots, I don't have to worry about it. I have enough shots in the camera. I just go bam, 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 put it on the computer, and still keep it on the card if I want. There's different types of media for different types of camera, and I'll talk about that in a second. Moving up in the world of photography, if you want to get something a little bit more advanced, and you're interested in becoming, maybe a photojournalist, maybe you want to use it for school, maybe you just have kids that you have at home that you want to take pictures of and you want something that's going to last, or something with a lot of features on it. A lot of people are starting to go into the digital SLR boom. This is actually a digital digital SLR. This is a 20D. This is my backup camera, actually. This is an 8 megapixel camera, same thing as my point and shoot. The difference is obviously this is a single lens reflex camera, which is an SLR. But it does have a 1.6 crop versus a full framed camera. The difference between a full framed and a 1.6 is like, say for instance, a lens that's supposed to be like, say I have a 28 to 135 right here, right? You take the 1.6 crop, and this actually makes this lens a lot longer than what it should be. This is an actual IS lens as well that I used to use for this camera. I put the kit lens back on it because I'm trying to sell this particular model because I wanted to get a 50D, which is the bigger brother to this guy. But the camera that I use, I'll talk about next. This uses compact flash cards. It doesn't use SD. They're a little bit bigger. They're not too terribly expensive at all. You can get them up to 8 gigs as well. But with an SLR, you're going to get a lot more freedom. You have a lot more choice to do what you want with it. You're going to get a better quality picture, mainly because of the fact that it's, you know, you can change the lens versus on a point and shoot you can't really change the lens.